based on what you just mentioned, Professor Bhardwaj, General Dua, Bangladesh goes into the elections in just a few days from now. Now, we would very much want Sheikh Hasina to come back to power. She's good for India. She's been there. She's brought stability to Indo-Bangladesh ties. She's acted on insurgents that were sheltering inside Bangladesh, which is not what we can say about Khalida Zia when she was in power. What is this superpower tussle that's going on in Bangladesh, China versus the United States, and why is the US so pro Begum Khalida Zia? Why are they, so to say, putting the screws on Prime Minister Hasina's party? And India, of course, has been trying to tell the US, listen, don't push Sheikh Hasina into the China camp. Could you explain to us this interesting proxy political battle that's been going on in Bangladesh?
You're right. It seems very surprising as to why US would take such keen interest in a small country like Bangladesh. To my mind, not only in Bangladesh issue, but in several other issues around the globe, while US is cozying up with India in many ways, but in certain ways it also perhaps wants to keep India on a bit of a check.
Right.
Somewhere it wants to put India also on a notice.
Right.
I mean, it's not that, India doesn't get that kind of support that Israel gets from the US, for instance. So here also, because it's a conundrum that's not so easy to understand. I think it's almost like trying to, because India is wholeheartedly backing the present regime, and which has, like you rightly said, has been good for India. Our relations have grown, their economy is growing, everything is going good with this party in power and with the present Prime Minister in power, President in power. So what is, I think to my mind, it is power play with China being played out over here in Bangladesh. But also the fact that it is not in line with the position India takes or the present government takes.
Right. In fact, Kartikeya, this power play that General Dua mentioned, now that's also taking place in Maldives. It's also happening in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has recently told us that we are not going to allow Chinese spy ships to call in for 1 year. And Sri Lanka is also going to the elections. So how important is China in South Asia, and how is
I would say,
grown?
I think that the influence of China is far greater than the United States of America. One, the only problem India has in context of Bangladesh is one, radicalization. Second is the problem for illegal immigration, because it ups the domestic temperature. There are two issues. In context of any other thing, I think we are okay when it comes to Bangladesh. Our problem in context of security is with China. If you look at Bhutan, the entire agenda of Chinese government is to open up an embassy there. You know, if they open up an embassy, the P5 gets the footing there in Bhutan. The sort of the trouble which the Myanmar junta is in, the Chinese hand is very, very evident. Maldives, it's evident. I mean, so I really don't need to get into details of Pakistan. Nepal, it's a challenge. You know, the last time when I went to make a documentary for the News9 Plus, I saw the entire Darbar Square was not being rebuilt by ASI. The Darbar Square after the earthquake is being built by the Chinese. You know, we were the one who were rebuilding and preserving Angkor Wat in 70s and 80s. That's our expertise. But then you have got Chinese to build that, and they're doing a shoddy job. I saw it myself when shooting that documentary. So my point is that, again, I'll come back to continuity. At least our election for now is throwing up a leader who has seen the politics of at least global South Asia for last 10 years and is going to be in the helms of affair for next 5 years at least, because we are also witnessing a shift in our foreign policy, in our defense doctrine, you know, this calling of the nuclear bluff of Pakistan, or our alignment which started with PV Narasimha 1991 with Israel.
And General Dua played a very big role in that.
You know, it has become more robust and close with Israel. So, you know, at Jaishankar's interview, you know, I know it's political, but he said, when he says Patel, you know, it reflects a different mindset. It's very evident from the letters of correspondence between Nehru and Sardar Patel in early 50s. So I think that shift will not only be evident or pronounced as we say today, but it will solidify. Like there was a Nehruvian 5 decades, we'll have something of a different sort in coming 10-15 years. Sandeep.
Interesting. And what you mentioned, that calling Pakistan's bluff, and General Dua was, you know, he planned those surgical strikes, cross-border strikes. The first time we actually crossed the line and went and responded to an act of terror by Pakistan. General Dua, how is a new government in Pakistan, in Islamabad, a democratic government, whoever it may be, whether it's Nawaz Sharif or it's a coalition, how is it going to change this policy of ours? Will it continue, or will it be more of the same? Will it be something else that the Pakistanis want, to start talks? What's the state of play right now?
Like I said earlier, it's obviously a fixed match. Like all my co-panelists have also said, Pakistan, and you said yourself, in Pakistan, whether or not army is in power, but army calls the shots, at least as far as important issues are concerned. So to that extent, whoever comes to power, it seems that Nawaz Sharif is set to come to power.
Yeah.
The fact that army will remain in a preeminent position is a given.
Yeah.
When be that as it may, and Kashmir is a glue that binds Pakistan.
Right.
Now we are seeing over the last 4 years that things have improved in Kashmir. Things are moving towards normalcy as far as the people, the populace, the tourists, the day-to-day running of life, the lack of stone pelting, etc. is concerned. So to that extent, things are becoming better and better. But in the last 2 months, we have seen the terrorists are once again trying to reactivate their violence with the security forces.
Right.
And now you see that they're doing it away from the population centers. It's happening in the jungles of Pir Panjal, whether it's on the north face, that is at Kokarnag, Anantnag district, or in the south face on Punch Rajouri. But it's all Pir Panjal, in the mountains and jungles.
Right.
Why? Because the base is in the population is shrinking. Their popular support is shrinking. So that's where Pakistan comes in. Now, Pakistan is a wild card for Kashmir. Pakistan army's raison d'etre remains
is Kashmir.
A problem with India and Indian army in Kashmir. So to that extent, whoever comes to power, Pakistan will continue to keep the pot boiling, so that there is no feeling of normalcy in Kashmir. They want to instill fear in the minds of people.
Absolutely.
But before I end, I'd just like to say, seeing there that we are likely to see Prime Minister Modi and Nawaz Sharif on the other side, and Pakistan is in such economic doldrums. So who knows if are they likely to, in the second half of the year, are they likely to strike up a bit of old chemistry? We may not resolve everything, but after all, the ceasefire, which is holding for 3 years, is something that we can look at. And maybe these two leaders may be able to do something, because Pakistan also needs a helping hand. So they might just reach out.
Thank you.
And see where
I'm afraid we're totally out of time, but thank you very much, General Dua. That continuity line that Kartikeya mentioned continues in Pakistan in a different context. But thank you very much, and this is a trend that we're going to be looking at. Thank you, General Dua, Professor Bhardwaj, and my colleague Kartikeya. This is a story that we keep tracking. South Asia, mandate, the world going to elections, headlines for us throughout the year. Thanks for watching.